Shout out to people out there. Let's talk some boxing. So, Coach Eric Bradley, the fight doctor. For once, I actually disagree with Coach Eric Bradley. And I hope somebody carries this video to him. Coach Eric Bradley is saying that, Spence being the bigger dude, those punches will accumulate on Mikey. Mikey will do some good rallies and stuff, but in the end, Spence going to win out because of the accumulated body attack that Spence will do to Mikey Garcia. And Spence being bigger and stronger and stuff, that accumulation of punishment is what's going to take Mikey down. And even if he doesn't get stopped, he's not going to win the fight. While I hear what Coach Eric Bradley's saying, I think Coach Eric Bradley's overlooking a number of different factors. And what I would say to Coach Eric Bradley is, please go back and watch the Chris Algieri versus Errol Spence Jr. fight. Watch that particular fight. Because the problem was Chris Algieri didn't stick to the game plan. If he stuck to the game plan, he wouldn't have been in the trouble he was in. But he didn't stick to the game plan. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's a lot I want to say, but I can't say it because I don't want to spill the beans on things. But I'm gonna give you this logic here. This reasoning. Mikey Garcia didn't just wake up one morning and say, I'm going for Errol Spence Jr. No. That was a calculated move. Very calculated move. And the other point is that Mikey Garcia comes from the RGBA gym. I wanted to rule out Josecito Lopez, but when Josecito Lopez came in to fight Keith Thurman, he was the stronger guy in there. And I personally think that Coach Eric Bradley is underestimating Mikey Garcia's strength, how strong he will be when he gets into that ring. The difference between Lamont Peterson and Mikey Garcia, and Lamont Peterson basically was a super lightweight that came up against Errol Spence, as well as Chris Algieri, because they had been a welterweight for 2-3 fights, if so much. I think Algieri was 1 fight or 2. Right? I think that a lot of people are underestimating how strong Mikey Garcia will be when he goes into that ring. And not only just strength, because there's a difference between strength and power, but he's going to carry his power with him on top of that. Lamont Peterson is not known as a powerful puncher. He gets stronger and stronger as the fight goes along, but he's not known for his power. Mikey Garcia is both strong, as small as he looks, and he's powerful with his punches. Alright? And I'm just gonna say one thing to Coach Eric Bradley and to others. One thing I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just keep it like that. And this one thing is this. Errol Spence has a habit of throwing punches very, very hard. And that could be his Hercules heel. His Hercules heel. Because you can't be just throwing full leverage, man. You can't be doing that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Fill in the lines. Fill in the spots. I know I could talk in more detail about what I mean there. But there's subtleties to things. You have to vary stuff. And he don't do that. He just rip it. The opportunity opens and he rips it. I'm telling you, man, that will come back to bite him later on in the fight against Mikey Garcia. That's all I'm going to say about that. Alright? I'm going to do another video, the difference between strength and power. Being a power puncher and being strong. There's a difference. Sergey Kovalev was a powerful puncher, but he wasn't strong. The stronger guy was Andre Ward. Andre Ward wasn't as powerful a puncher as Sergey Kovalev. All right, I hope that helps people to understand one or two things. Mikey Garcia, man, is a technician. He's a technician. So Mikey's not going to approach Errol Spence in a wild fashion. That ain't happening. Okay? And I can guarantee Coach Eric Bradley and anybody else, he ain't no Lamont Peterson, he ain't no Chris Algieri. Alright? He's not just going to come and let Errol Spence wail on him. That ain't happening. All right? I guarantee you that. The other thing is, which I think a lot of people are just still not thinking about, as much as Errol Spence had dealt with Kell Brook and so on, Kell Brook still, he's a guy, he didn't have, he would just clinch up and let Errol work on him, right, in his body. That ain't happening with Mikey. Mikey's not going to do that. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. I think people need to do their homework. Okay? Mikey has a plan. They have a game plan. And the one thing about Mikey, unlike Chris Algieri, he sticks to the game plan. Alright? They have a game plan. And if there's anybody who could pull it off, it's going to be Mikey Garcia, Big G, and Robert Garcia. Because that combination is deadly. Alright? There are some people on this planet who are bad boys. They just bad. They bad boys. You know, that's how Sugar Ray Leonard would say, he's a bad boy. You know, Floyd Mayweather would say it in a very vulgar way. He would say, bad mother effer. You know what I'm saying? That's what Floyd would say. That's a bad mother effer. He would say, you strong, man. You strong. You a bad mother effer. Trust me, man. Mikey Garcia is one of those bad mother effers. Y'all just don't understand because he looks small. You know, he looked like a small, he quiet, his personality's quiet and stuff. So y'all think, you know, but you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. Errol Spence Jr. He a bad boy too. Alright, don't get it twisted. But it's more obvious with Errol Spence Jr. It's not as obvious with Mikey. Mikey's a sleeper. You know, you're going to miss it because he's so technically proficient. You know, he don't do nothing by chance. Every punch counts with Mikey Garcia. You know, Errol Spence rip punches. Mikey don't necessarily rip a punch. Sometimes he touch you. Sometimes he tests you out. He look for the spot he looking for and then he rip it. You know what I'm saying? Mikey sometimes don't rip it. He just have you, he feint you. He hit you, he tap you with a shot to get you with another shot. You understand what I'm saying? There's subtleties to boxing, but you know, not everybody gets it. Alright? And Errol Spence Jr., man, all I'm going to say is, he it's too late for him now. He can't change nothing, but you got to learn subtlety, Errol Spence Jr., and how you put leverage into different punches, man. You got to mix it up, brother. And that's where you're gonna have a weakness right there. That's a weakness right there. Trust me, that's a weakness. You know, everything can't be brute strength, man. You want to knock out somebody like a Mikey Garcia. You gotta mix it up. You gotta mix it up. And Errol don't know how to do that. He like Triple G. He throw at one power, one speed. You know, that's not good enough. You know, you gotta do boxing. It's boxing. It's not every shot needs to be like brick walls. Manny Pacquiao got that problem too. He don't know how to mix it up. So I tell Errol Spence, go check out Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko with his jab, how he varied his speed, how he varied the time, and how he throw it. Errol's a little too straight up and down when it comes to that. He actually straight up and down in a couple ways. He's basic in a couple ways. I'm not going to say no more. I'm just talking about leverage of power. And I see these things, and Mikey Garcia saw these things, and I see what Mikey sees. You know, I see what Mikey sees. And that's why Mikey is a better fighter than Errol Spence Jr. Even though he don't go to the body like Errol does, he's a better boxer than Errol Spence Jr. Because Mikey does many other subtle little things. Errol Spence comes in off an angle, off the jab, and that's great. But Mikey does other little subtle things Errol Spence Jr. don't know nothing about, clearly. He don't know nothing about that. I'm just saying. So I'm just saying to Coach Eric Bradley, I think you should review Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, because I think you're writing off Mikey rather quickly. I think you're not really paying attention to what Mikey Garcia brings to the table. And it is different being in the ring with Mikey than what you see on TV. But you should have been able to see what he does, man. Them little subtle things he does, man. In every single fight, you should have seen that already. You know, these are obvious stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I think a lot of people still writing off Mikey, and they're thinking that Errol Spence's body work is going to bring Mikey down. All right, How are you going to go to the body if the guy's protecting his body all the time? You heard Floyd say it about Robert Guerrero. He protecting his body well. He said it about Carlos Baldomir. How you gonna go to the body if the guy's protecting his body well? And he's not offering you those looks or those shots or those angles you really want to go to the body. What you gonna do? Like I said, please go watch the Chris Algieri versus Errol Spence Jr. fight again. The game plan. Algieri stepped away from the game plan because he felt he could do anything he wanted to Errol Spence Jr. He should have stuck with the game plan. He didn't stick with the game plan. And that was his fault. Right? That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. You guys have a good one.